A combative Prime Minister Narendra Modi ripped into the opposition today, taking special aim at the Congress party ahead of the general elections due in less than 3 months, declaring the party would have taken 100 more years to achieve what the BJP has done in 10 years. Prime Minister Modi, in his last speech in the parliament before the general elections 2024, spoke about probe agencies, saying no matter what, the fight against corruption will continue. The opposition has accused the agencies like CBI, ED of acting at the behest of the Bharatiya Janata Party. The Prime Minister also responded to the allegations of dynasty in BJP, literally putting in a new definition.
अब हमारी सरकार का तीसरा कार्यकाल भी बहुत दूर नहीं है। ज्यादा से ज्यादा 100-125 दिन बाकी है और अब की बार पूरा देश कह रहा है, अब की बार खड़गे जी भी कह रहे हैं। लेकिन अध्यक्ष जी, मैं आमतौर पर ये आंकड़े के चक्कर में नहीं पड़ता, लेकिन मैं देख रहा हूं देश का मिजाज एनडीए को तो 400 पार करवा ही के रहेगा, लेकिन भारतीय जनता पार्टी को 370 सीट अवश्य देगा। बीजेपी को 370 सीट और एनडीए को 400 पार। इनके समय में एजेंसियों का सिर्फ और सिर्फ राजनीतिक उपयोग के लिए उपयोग किया जाता था। कांग्रेस के समय में ईडी ने 5,000 करोड़ रुपए की संपत्ति जब्त की। हमारे कार्यकाल में ईडी ने 1 लाख करोड़ रुपए की संपत्ति की। देश का लूटा हुआ माल देना ही पड़ेगा। देश नोटों के ढेर देख देख करके चौंक गया है, लेकिन अब जनता को आप मूर्ख नहीं बना सकते। जनता देख रही है। हमने लाखों करोड़ के घोटाले तो अटकाए, लेकिन उन सारे पैसों को गरीबों के काम लगा दिया, गरीबों के कल्याण के लिए। जिसको जितना जुल्म मुझ पर करना है कर ले, मेरी भ्रष्टाचार के खिलाफ लड़ाई चलती रहेगी। ये कांग्रेस की सुस्त रफ्तार, कांग्रेस की सुस्त रफ्तार का कोई मुकाबला नहीं। आदरणीय अध्यक्ष जी, शहरी गरीबों के लिए हमने गरीबों के लिए 400 घर हमने गरीबों के लिए, आदरणीय अध्यक्ष जी, हमने गरीबों के लिए 4 करोड़ घर बनाए। और शहरी गरीबों के लिए 80 लाख पक्के मकान शहरी गरीबों के लिए बने। कांग्रेस, अगर कांग्रेस की रफ्तार से घर बने होते तो क्या हुआ होता, मैं इसका हिसाब लगाता हूं। अगर कांग्रेस की जो रफ्तार थी उस प्रकार से चला होता तो 100 साल लगते, इतना काम करने में 100 साल लगते, 5 पीढ़ियां गुजर जाती।
Well, the Congress hit back at Prime Minister, saying he doesn't have anything new to add in his speeches now. It's time for the Prime Minister to take some responsibility.
आज बहुत थक गए लगे, कुछ भी नई चीज नहीं सुनाई दिया। जो भी उन्होंने कहा पहले कई बार कह चुके हैं, परिवारवाद के बारे में, कांग्रेस के खिलाफ, अरे नामदार कामदार के भाषण। नेहरू जी के देहांत होके 60 साल हो गए और फिर भी उसी गीत गाते रहते हैं प्रधानमंत्री जी। क्या हो गया? बहुत थक गया था शायद।
सारी समस्याओं के लिए लगभग उन्होंने कांग्रेस को जिम्मेदार ठहराया।
देखिए ये तो कितने साल तक करेंगे आप? कांग्रेस जा चुके हैं, 10 साल आप सत्ते में हैं, तो आप कोई भी जिम्मेदारी ले लीजिए।
Let me now bring in my colleague Himanshu, who is joining us with more details on this, covering the Parliament. Himanshu, the last speech of the Prime Minister ahead of the general elections, seeking his third term, more than an hour and a half, but the line of attack remains the same.
That's right, and it was a scathing attack on Congress. And if you just look at his speech and try and deconstruct the flow of ideas that came out in his speech, he in fact started saying to the Congress MPs that it seems that you have lost the will to even contest the elections. He said that there are many Congress MPs who now are looking at ways to get into Raj Sabha because in Lok Sabha their numbers are shrinking. And he said that it is the Congress's politics of divisiveness and the dynastic politics that Congress leadership has pursued is the main reason why our position has weakened in the country today. I think very serious allegations Prime Minister today leveled against Congress, and he, in fact at one point he said that एक ही product launch करने से कांग्रेस की दुकान पर ताला लगने की नौबत आ गई है. And this was an indirect attack on Rahul Gandhi and the fact that despite elections after elections, the performance of Congress in Lok Sabha elections, of course, has not improved in last 10 years. And this was the tone and tenor with which he attacked the Congress party. It's important also, I think, he did not mention many other opposition parties, but he was constantly focused on Congress. But at the same time, I think what is also politically significant is that in many ways he has outlined the larger political agenda of the BJP in run-up to the Lok Sabha elections. Now, Ab Ki Baar 400 ke paar, of course, is one slogan that was raised in the House today by BJP MPs. But if you look at the political issues with which BJP will go into elections, of course, he outlined the successes of his government. He said, ये मोदी की गारंटी है कि हम $5 ट्रिलियन की इकोनॉमी बन जाएंगे, तीसरी सबसे बड़ी अर्थव्यवस्था दुनिया में बन जाएंगे अगले कार्यकाल में. And he said that Congress could have done in 100 years what we did in 10 years. So I think these are the issues. It is very clear now with which BJP will go into the Lok Sabha elections. Now, there is one last speech, Ankit, that in Raj Sabha, our Prime Minister has to reply to the debate, and that is expected tomorrow evening. Perhaps we will know more about what he has planned for the BJP in run-up to the Lok Sabha elections when he gets up to reply to all those questions that have been raised against the President's address in Raj Sabha during the debate.
That's right, and he'll also meet Mallikarjun Kharge, the Congress president, who had in fact launched a scathing attack on the BJP in his speech responding to the president's address. Thank you so much, Himanshu, for joining us with all those details at this moment. Moving on now, the Chandigarh mayor election controversy has come under the lens of the Supreme Court, which has declared that it would not allow the murder of democracy. Some very scathing words were said today by the Chief Justice of India. The CJI also has ordered the Registrar General to secure all the records by 5 p.m. The court will hear the case on February 12th. Chief Justice of India D.Y. Chandrachud said what the returning officer did was like the murder of democracy, and the Supreme Court would not allow that. Remember, there was controversy around the way 8 votes of the Aam Aadmi Party Congress combined were deemed invalid, which gave victory to the Bharatiya Janata Party in the mayor elections of Chandigarh. Let me very quickly go across to my colleague Mohammad Ghazali, who is joining us with more details on this. Mohammad Ghazali, this will come as a shot in arm as far as the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned. Though there is, and the Congress, of course, there is no order that has been passed, but scathing words, not only on the conduct of the presiding officer, but the way this entire process was conducted.
See, legally, as of now, the order doesn't contain anything as of an indictment of the presiding officer for his conduct for holding the elections that day. But that video of the court proceedings of Chief Justice of India, Mr. D.Y. Chandrachud Singh, asking that who is this presiding officer, that who is looking at the camera and then tampering with the ballot paper, has gone viral on social media like anything. And Congress and Aam Aadmi Party till 30th of January, we all were reporting as if it was a setback for them and a masterstroke for the BJP. Now, both the parties are claiming that the observation by the Chief Justice of India has now turned the same masterstroke for the BJP into an embarrassment. Now, what actually happens in the next hearing is perhaps Mr. Anil Masi, the presiding officer who has been asked to be present in the hearing then, will have to prove that how those 8 votes were declared invalid, what were the reasons behind declaring those 8 votes invalid, only those 8 votes which came from the India bloc councillors. And perhaps since the CJI has given such a strong comments that I will not allow the death of democracy or the murder of democracy, so perhaps a notice will be served. All the records have been asked to be preserved or to be in the custody of the Registrar General. So we'll have to see whether the actual appeal which demands for a re-election, whether the CJI orders for a re-election or not, is the most important part of this entire trial or the case which is pending in the Supreme Court now.
Thank you for joining us with all those details. Mohammad Ghazali reporting from Chandigarh. Moving on now to Jharkhand, where the Champai Soren government in Jharkhand comfortably passed the majority test in the assembly this afternoon after getting 47 votes in the 81-member assembly. With one MLA resigning last month, the majority mark in the assembly was at 41. The vote took place in Jharkhand assembly after emotionally charged speech by now, in fact, in custody, Jharkhand Mukti Morcha leader and former Chief Minister Hemant Soren, who called his arrest a dark chapter and dared the Enforcement Directorate to provide proof against him, saying he will leave politics in Jharkhand if there is any shred of evidence against him.
An easy 47-29 victory for the JMM Congress coalition in the floor test at the Jharkhand Assembly. The floor test was held in the wake of former Chief Minister Hemant Soren's resignation, followed by his arrest by the Enforcement Directorate on January 31st. The ex-CM is being investigated by the central agency in a money laundering case. Allowed to attend the assembly session today, Hemant denied all allegations on the floor of the House and termed them a BJP conspiracy.
31 जनवरी की जो काली रात, काला अध्याय देश के लोकतंत्र में नए तरीके से जुड़ा है। आपने ईडी और सीबीआई को सपोर्ट कीजिए और कोर्ट में पेश करें। एक भी दस्तावेज अगर आप लोग निकाल के दिखा दे तो मैं उसी दिन राजनीति से संन्यास किया, झारखंड छोड़ के चला जाए।
दुर्भाग्य है झारखंड का, जो सरकार 4 साल में भ्रष्टाचार के कारण अपना कार्यकाल पूरा करने से पहले ही त्यागपत्र देना पड़ा जिस सरकार को, उसी भ्रष्टाचार का महिमा मंडन करके आप कहते हैं कि पार्ट 2 होंगे, तो झारखंड के लिए दुर्भाग्य है।
But while the trust vote victory was along expected lines, the real test for new Chief Minister Champai Soren will begin now. With ex-Chief Minister Hemant in jail for now and both the Lok Sabha polls and the Jharkhand state election due this year, the JMM veteran will have to emerge from the shadows and lead the party in both crucial elections. There is also the challenge of keeping all ruling coalition MLAs together in the absence of Hemant Soren.
While the political chess may have stopped here in Ranchi, the focus now moves on the cabinet expansion, which, according to the new CM Champai Soren, will take place in the next 2 to 3 days. And also, as the Lok Sabha inches closer, it remains to be seen whether or not the India bloc will be able to keep its flock together. With camera person Virendra Kumar Saini, Harivansh Sharma and Tanishq Punjabi for NDTV.
The centre today introduced a bill in Lok Sabha to check malpractices in government recruitment exams such as paper leak and then take websites with strict penalties, including a minimum jail term for 3 years and a fine for up to 1 crore. At present, there is no specific substantive law to deal with unfair means adopted or offences committed by various entities involving in the conduct of public examinations by the central government and its agencies.
I rise to move for leave to introduce the Public Examinations Prevention.
A new bill in Parliament to clamp down on scenes like these. From brazen cheating in examinations to frequent leakages of question papers and answer keys. The Public Examinations Prevention of Unfair Means Bill 2024 seeks to curb paper leaks as well as organized malpractices in recruitment examinations like the UPSC, SSC and entrance tests like the NEET, JEE and the CUET. The bill proposes a punishment of minimum of 3 to 5 years of imprisonment to curb cheating. Those involved in organized crimes of cheating will face 5 to 10 years of imprisonment.
By 2047 is a capable citizen, and that's why we are the must to have this kind of bill and to prohibit all those unfair means and the illegal things or unholy things in the examination.
Earlier, while addressing the joint sitting of both houses on the 31st of January, President Droupadi Murmu had spoken about irregularities in conduct of examinations.
मेरी सरकार परीक्षाओं में होने वाली गड़बड़ी को लेकर युवाओं की चिंता से अवगत है, इसीलिए ऐसे गलत तरीके को सख्ती के लिए नया कानून बनाने का निर्णय लिया है.
This bill is an important attempt to make the examination process more efficient and effective in the country and also deal sternly with the growing incidence of paper leak. The next challenge before government will be to develop political consensus on the broad contours of this bill, get it passed in parliament and also effectively implement it on the ground. In Delhi with Vasudha and camera person Rakesh Singh, Himanshu Shekhar for NDTV.
Meanwhile, Gulmarg, a renowned tourist spot in North Kashmir, is blanketed in several feet of snow with temperatures plummeting to several degrees below freezing point. The snow in Gulmarg has come late this season after a prolonged barren spell. The fresh snowfall is great news for tourism with footfalls set to rise and even for farmers in the larger region who were worried about the impact of the snowfall in the area.
Skiers back in Gulmarg, India's finest skiing destination. 2 spells of snowfall within 3 days have finally brought the skiing slopes alive.
I'm really excited to be here. This is my 5th year in Gulmarg skiing. It's been an immense pleasure and it's just extremely outstanding.
Things are back on track. We resumed our activities 2 days back and we are really happy. All the slopes are operational and we are looking forward to some good business.
The otherwise harshest period of winter in Kashmir went almost snowless this season, hitting tourism hard and causing worries among people about its impact on agriculture and drinking water. Now, back-to-back snowfall has brought cheer to tourists and locals. This group of tourists from Mumbai had never thought they would be so lucky.
I feel amazing. I am actually experiencing snowfall for the very first time.
It's my first experience.
Officials say last year around 2 crore tourists visited Jammu and Kashmir and more tourists are expected this season.
Finally, the long dry spell in Kashmir is over. Skiers are back in Gulmarg. Tourists are enjoying winter wonderland. And locals are hoping for a better tomorrow. In Srinagar, Nazim Masoodi for NDTV.